Forever. Dog.
When your first choice is a big old bus,
You turn around and boom,
you end up with a sloppy seconds.
oh, diva. Hi, you fucks, you stupid little fucks, you sloppy little fucks, you dirty little fucks. It's me.
And me.
Meatball and
Big
Big
Dipper.
Dipper's here. And welcome to Sloppy Seconds with Big Dipper and
Do
Meatball.
you think we could do that on a rhythm? Hi, you fucks, you stupid little fucks, you sloppy little fucks.
You. Hi, you fuck you, that means little fuck you, sloppy little fuck you, dirty little fuck you, nasty little fucks. It's me. That is like the song from oh well, the Wells Fargo Magan is a what show is that? Music Man. When they're in the train and it's like da 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 da. What do you talk? What do you talk? Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah, come on.
Someone out there will know. And they will get it.
What do you go?
Who do you know? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Well, today is Juneteenth, honey.
It is.
Meow, 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 meow.
So most white people don't know about Juneteenth or didn't learn about Juneteenth because it is not talked about in our education system. And truthfully, I literally learned about it a few years ago when the show Blackish did an episode about Juneteenth as a holiday, which was released in 2017. So like 2.5 years ago. And that's embarrassing and sad. But Juneteenth is a big deal.
It is a huge deal. I'm just going to read what it's about.
Oh, yeah.
But
I
basically,
just pulled, like, a
it
little
was
thing.
Yeah, this will explain it better than I could. Juneteenth is celebrated June 19th to commemorate the emancipation of slaves in the U.S. The holiday was first celebrated in Texas, where on the date in 1865, in the aftermath of the Civil War, slaves were declared free. The war had ended months earlier in April, and Abraham Lincoln actually signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st of 1863. Juneteenth is recognized as a staged holiday.
State.
Yeah, I was like, this is not a staged holiday, honey. She real.
State.
Juneteenth is recognized as a state holiday or a special day of observation in 47 out of the 50.
Observance. What?
Observance in 47 of the. Well, here's all I know is that I haven't seen it observed or celebrated in a lot of states at all.
I think what it is it's one of those like.
And also, just to reiterate, it is a celebration that slaves were free 2 years after
they were free.
Slaves were free. So people were still holding slaves in 1865.
I
So
literally remember learning about and because of like the mail system and there were no phones. Like,
they were taking advantage of the
Yes.
fact that information was not getting to people because they were withholding the information. They wanted to keep their slaves.
And Texas was the
trash.
Was the furthest away from Washington, and so it was sort of this like Confederate stronghold because there were the smallest amount of like Union soldiers there, and so therefore they were just like not abiding by for 2.5 years, not abiding by the Emancipation Proclamation, which is so fucked. So
yeah. and then they wonder why people are mad. But okay.
I think Juneteenth should be like a full ass holiday, like
it
like
is
how we treat
I just saw
July
some
4th.
state is declaring it a holiday, a paid holiday.
I
but
think
also
it being
we're
on
not doing July 4th this year, just so
Right.
everyone knows. If I hear one firework, I was going to say calling the police, but I won't do that either. I'm just going straight to the problem.
I
the
hear
person
fireworks
launching the
every
firework.
night in my neighborhood. Do you?
Yeah, no, but on
LA
our next
loves fireworks.
LA do love fireworks at night. If you go over to Boyle Heights, it's gorgeous. at
Yeah,
night.
I mean, literally, the people the driveways out my back window, they set off fireworks every night.
Where PJ lives, she lives kind of up on top of a hill, and when you like look down over it, you could just see all the fireworks going off. It's beautiful, but it's loud,
fireworks.
and I have real anxiety with like loud popping noises.
Yeah.
So I don't
Well,
like.
Kitty, the dog that I live with, she hates the
I'm
fireworks.
Basically a skittish dog. Just to catch up.
Happy Juneteenth, or
Happy Juneteenth to you too.
Should we talk about your home state of Texas?
Let's talk about it because I've been screaming at my mom because anytime there's a fucking one of those dumbass flyovers, my mom and my dad
jets.
with the jets that are like $20,000 to fly over, but like no, we're not buying masks or respirators. Anyway, my mom will go out there and she's like, we stayed away from everybody. And I was like, are y'all wearing masks at least? And she's like, no, we don't do that anymore.
Okay, so COVID cases are up and continue to rise. And in Texas, they're literally saying, oh, we have more test results coming in. We just got like thousands of test results from the prison system. So that's why the numbers are up. Like, it's literally a second wave, and it's because y'all open your states up too early. Shit is opened up in California. I hate to see it. We hate to see it.
We hate to see it. I mean,
I pulled this
just looking at pictures of like restaurants fully open and like servers not wearing masks, people not wearing masks, like touching you. It's all wrong. And then I just read a thing that like over 1,000 restaurants that reopened in LA have been inspected and they are not following the COVID rule guidelines for service. Also, the Harris County, I think is what it is the highest COVID cases right now. That is where my fucking parents live.
Yo, how do they? Okay, so
I was on their ass the whole time being like, don't go out. Don't do this. My dad was literally like running into store. My mom was like, it's like he almost wants to get it. It's so he's out every day. And I was like, don't do that. Anyway, my white parents are going to be dead soon.
Well, I pulled this from NPR just to give us a little moment of understanding of what's happening. So the Texas governor pointed out uncareful behavior as a possible driver for new cases. So Abbott said that there were a number of counties with the majority of those who tested positive for the coronavirus who are under the age of 30, which he attributed to people going to bar-type settings or Memorial Day celebrations and not taking health precautions.
Mm-hmm.
So he said measures like wearing a mask, using hand sanitizer, and social distancing make it possible to reopen the state's economy. Despite him saying all of that, he has banned Texas cities from implementing any rules that would require face coverings. So he's literally saying, y'all need to cover your face, but I'm not going to take away your freedom to not cover your face. The executive order says no jurisdiction can impose a civil or criminal penalty for failure to wear a face covering.
And they opened up last month. They've been open since last month.
Listen, if you listen to this show and you are socializing with friends and not wearing a mask and going out and don't think that Corona is going to get you, log off. We don't want you.
We don't want you to listen because it's gonna get you. Yes, because you're safe right now doesn't mean anything. I was talking to Orville about it at the thing. He was saying the same thing I just said. We went to all these protests. We haven't got it because we were wearing the mask. I was like, had we not been wearing the mask, had we not been hand sanitizing, had we just been throwing caution to the wind and going and hanging out with our friends all the time, there's a higher chance that we would have transferred it or gotten it from people.
Completely. So let's talk about the all black lives matter.
I got a lot of messages because it's clear, if you know me, and you listened to last week and the week before that, was very against it. Bon, bon, bleeps, beeps. We know you were mad, whatever.
Oh, right. People were so mad about
people
the
were mad
bleeps.
We didn't leave the names in. Baby, we left full descriptions of them. So if you want to go find them, they're up. Like, also, we gave you their names.
We were trying to not, we didn't have the full story, and we wanted to be messy for entertainment's sake, but not so messy as to if we were ill-informed, we would be tearing something down.
But it turns out, I think most of the information that we gave was factual because no one's checked us. Right?
So how was your experience? We were both at the march.
We went to the march. I'm just gonna say, it took me I was the morning of, and I still wasn't gonna go, but we decided to go mainly because here's two things. One, if you want to hear my impassioned answer, it's because the message of the march was more important than me trying to pick a fight with the organizers of the event. The message that Black trans lives matter, the message that Black lives matter, and the message that over 10,000 people coming together for that
Girl, it
and
was
saying
huge.
that we all stand together and we are against this. I believe in that message more than I believe in some sloppy organization and some shady dealings and some nonsense that's going on over there. My second answer is everyone was going, and there was so much mass confusion about it that there wasn't. A lot of people didn't go, and I saw a lot of people saying, like, there's this other alternate march to go to that isn't shady and isn't still being funded by CSW and stuff. But at the end of the day, I believe that Black trans lives matter. I believe that my community was out there for the right reason. I don't believe in those organizers, and let's see what All Black Lives Matter as an organization does next. If they're just going to disappear into the wind because this was all just one stunt, or if they're going to stick together and continue doing some more marches and stuff like that. And then, do you want to hear my experience at the march? Or should I let you say?
You have to say.
Okay, so those are my two things. I don't know what you thought about those, but I'm just going to stick by. I think standing up as a group and showing as one large group, it was a great visibility, even though this shitty organization got clout. I am not done trying to bring them down, honey. It will be my goal. But here's what the march seemed great. Everything was fine. A little unorganized. I don't know where the organizers were when we got there. I got there and my friends were parked right in the middle of where it started. And there was some other group who had also parked there early, not affiliated, maybe affiliated, and they were just talking for about 45 minutes. Anyway, me and Michael, I was like, the minute this turns into a pride, we're out of here. So the minute we got to basically around where West Hollywood was where you could just see, and I'm so sorry, please turn it off if you're a white gay and you don't want to be called a white gay, but white gays out on their balconies drinking as we were slowly getting into WeHo, standing on top of cars, dancing, trucks with like truck beds full of just like white gay people dancing and face paint and rainbows and all that. And I was like, this is where we're losing the message a little bit. And I'm glad that you're here, but I'm not sure you're here for the right reason. But I'm not going to judge you because you're at least here.
You
at least made the effort.
When we got into that sort of WeHo borderline and we crossed.
Oh, that's when I left.
A lot more. Yeah, I know. I remember that. I was like, where'd Meatball go? There was a lot more shirtlessness. There was a lot more masklessness.
Mm-hmm. I saw a group of white gay porn people. I'm not going to call them stars. And they were all greeting each other by like kissing on the lips and hugging and saying hello.
Yeah.
And it was like people coming together in these groups and doing that. I saw videos that like the restaurants and the bars were open.
Girl, people were out brunching.
Once it ended, it turned into a drag show, and then Rocco's had a drag show outside, and then it just looked like WeHo back to its natural things. The fags have returned to nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it really did feel like when we crossed into WeHo, it turned into something else. When we were walking from Hollywood, the mask coverings, like there was a lot of people, and you could do your best to keep a social distance, but there was a lot of people. The streets were full, but it felt okay in Hollywood. It felt like everyone was masked, but then you get over there and it just started to feel a little
devolved.
But I completely agree with you. And I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and I started to like use this metaphor, and I was like, actually, this is kind of a sickening metaphor. Thinking about social change as like a top ponytail, like a high ponytail.
Yeah, a high pony.
What
color is she? Is she a beach wave or is she straight?
she's that.
She better be textured if this is about Black Lives Matter.
It's like, you know how Jada in her interview,
and
then it had all the hair,
cusp.
the beautiful like hair jewelry and the little braids, and then
Okay, so it's a Jada wig.
In order to get it up there, you have to do the big movement. You have to throw all the hair up, and you got to get the hair tie around it. Then you go in and you get the flyaways, and you lay down, the other hair, and you're able to sort of make that knot fortified. But the first thing you have to do is get it up there. And I was using this in the idea of, on the path towards social change and progress, tearing down the people right next to you that you have access to.
Yeah.
It's important that the people who were at this march, who were not there for the right reasons, who were not being... A friend of mine posted, if you are going out without a mask, but you are also saying Black Lives Matter, you don't believe in what you're saying because you are not wearing a mask amidst a pandemic that is disproportionately affecting black people. At a Black Lives Matter protest. Like, that doesn't line up. And so I agree that it's good to have as many people as possible. It's good to push the message forward. Black Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter. And those flyaways will eventually find their spot. They'll eventually get looped in, but the big hair tie, the big knot, the big movement is what is most important right now.
Yes.
And so
that's a great metaphor.
A lot of people can,
from a bald person.
From a bald person who doesn't wear wigs or put their hair up at all. I don't know.
But I understand exactly what you're saying, and it does make sense. It's like, I can't be mad because they did show up for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it turned out, and there were so many people there. I will say, when we got to the end at San Vicente in Santa Monica, there was the counter protest of this march that was there holding like a space in that intersection. And there was a little bit of a head-to-head face-off between the big march that had showed up and then the counter march that was sort of in line with what we talked about last week of like what is the real force behind this all Black Lives Matter march. But
it went off. There was a large group of people who were there showing support for all Black Lives Matter, and that is good. It got recognized, and there's now 10,000 more people that marched that wouldn't have.
Yeah, completely. So are you ready to get into our really special, amazing guest?
First, I'd like to talk about my makeup palette that I just
right. I totally didn't put that on the outline.
If you'd like a rainbow makeup palette with talc and talc-free,
with
vegan...
talc.
No, there's no talc. Talc gives you cancer, and it's in a lot of makeup. If you inhale it, drag queens know this. If you inhale talc, it can give you the thing called clown lung. It gives you lung cancer. It's terrible for you. It's in baby powders. It's in all these things that people use. It's not good, but it's not technically carcinogenic, so they're not doing it. Anyway, I'm holding it right now.
No one can see it.
No one can see it. Look at these beautiful colors. It's a full rainbow. It's gorgeous. It's only $30. The one amazing thing about it is that the portions of the proceeds go to the LGBTQ plus Freedom Fund, which is helping bail out Black LGBTQ people who have been arrested. And it's not like the Minnesota Fund. People are actually getting bailed out.
Whoop.
Ooh. I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about that.
Palette. All the promo is super cute. You look great.
Thank you.
Your outfits are
outfits. Listen, you
have a hard time with crotch, right?
Well, okay. First off, one of those is the reason the crotch looked like that. The blue one, that's on me. The orange one, it actually fit great and was amazing, but it's terry cloth, like it's towel material. So it's stretched, and then the only way to like get it back is to like put it in the dryer. But then it like shrinks, and then it gets all hot, and then I have to just like wear it, and then it stretches out if I take 2 steps. Anyway, don't wear terry cloth shorts, you guys, unless they're baggy.
Okay.
But the big thing is you can go to hip.com. It's on their front page. It's one of the first in a line of Pride things that we'll be releasing for the entire year. And I kind of wish. We had big plans to shoot all these things, and then Miss Rona hit, and no one's allowed to come over to no one's allowed to do anything for you.
But you're gonna continue working with them, and people will continue to find fun ways to shoot stuff and from proximity and whatever. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of fun stuff coming out in relation to your Diamond Diva Collection makeup palette, available at hip.com.
That's hipdot.com.
Where does that name come from?
I don't know. But SpongeBob's gay, and they have a SpongeBob palette.
Go off.
And Kesha is Kesha, and they have a Kesha palette.
And Kesha's gay, and she has a SpongeBob palette.
We don't know that. That's libel.
Libel, slander. Well, incredible. I'm really excited. We have an amazing guest coming up. You know who it is because you read the description. But here's our awesome interview with Miss Toto.
Miss Toto.
We all have days when we want to eat well, but just don't have the time or the energy to plan, shop, and cook.
That's exactly where Factor comes in. They deliver fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs right to your door.
With Factor, you can stay on track with your nutrition goals, whether that's high protein, balanced meals, or overall wellness, without any extra effort.
The meals are fresh, never frozen, and ready in just 2 minutes, which makes it easy to fit into your routine.
You know, I love coming home after a long day and having a tasty and filling Factor meal. It's waiting for me, and I don't have to worry about shopping. It's quick and easy, and one less thing I need to think about when I get home.
You know, I'm feral for fish right now, and I always get my fix with Factor. I recently had their scampi-styled shrimp and salmon, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint.
So get Factor today and start enjoying delicious and nutritious meals.
Head to factormeals.com/sloppyseconds50off and use code sloppyseconds50off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only, while supplies last until September 27th, 26. See website for more details.
That's factormeals.com/sloppyseconds50, like the number, off. Sloppy Seconds 50 off. Okay, something about me. I love shopping. If you love shopping too, you have to check out Rakuten.
And all you have to do is shop, 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 shop. And with Rakuten, you get cash back and rewards on almost everything you buy.
Exactly.
Shop.
Homeware, daily essentials, jeans. We're talking eBay, CVS, and even Levi's.
Ooh, so I can buy a vintage couch, tons of paper towels, and grab a new pair of jeans and still get cash back.
And that's not all. You can even stack those rewards on top of sales and coupons.
But Big Dipper, how does this magic work?
Well, I'll tell you. Rakuten is paid by partner stores to send them shoppers, and then Rakuten passes on some of that money to you, the member.
Rakuten is so real for that.
Plus, Rakuten has 17 million members who are already saving. Don't you want to become one of them?
Join for free at Rakuten.com or download the Rakuten app and start saving money now.
That's Rakuten.com or download the Rakuten app today. Do you want to improve your sleep? Well, listen up and get a Helix.
Whether you sleep on your side, your back, your stomach, Helix makes premium mattresses that are designed to fit your specific sleep style.
You know, now that it's spring, why not upgrade your sleep game and get a Helix mattress?
And you know what?
What?
I can guarantee you that they have a mattress for you with over 20 different styles and models for you to sleep on. I love sleep. I can't get enough of it.
And I love my Helix mattress. So ever since I got the big and tall, I know we go on and on about it, but it's a perfect fit for me. I haven't had a mattress before that I was able to select a model from, and I'm so happy I got to do that with Helix.
And I too have the big and tall model, and it's perfect for my big and tall body. I loved it so much, I got a second one from a guest room.
True.
Yes, baby. And the people are sleeping great in there when they eventually do sleep in there.
Best of all, Helix delivers right to your door with free shipping in the US, and you can get a 120-night sleep trial to make sure that it's right for you.
You also get peace of mind because Helix mattresses are backed by a limited lifetime warranty and have been recognized by experts at places like Forbes and Wired. And me. I am a sleep expert too.
Period. Go to helixsleep.com/sloppy to get up to 27% off site-wide during their Memorial Day sale.
That's helixsleep.com/sloppy and make sure you enter sloppy seconds after checkout so that they know that we sent you.
helixsleep.com/sloppy.
Get yourself a Helix. And now we're bringing to the podcast the one, the only, the call-out queen of Chicago, but she was originally from Miami. She tagged sharks. She's a bodybuilder. She's an activist. And she's an LLC. Bring it to the stage. It's Miss Toto.
Miss Toto!
That was me shaking my digital titties at the intro.
Come on, digital titties. Wait, did they make a breastplate that's like pixelated digital titties, but in real life?
They should.
Because then I would be able to show my digital titties on Twitch.
Can we talk about the Twitch rules?
The Twitch rules are
I hate it.
Kind of intense. Like, and I understand why they're doing it, because any type of online live stream could easily be turned into something sexual. And they're not used to drag queens. So the first one that bitch did, people's videos were getting like cut off and snatched because they were showing bare legs, like up to their butt.
That's what happened to Nikki Jizz, because she was like in a dance costume, and she started with like a spoken word lip sync, so she was
in a gown,
to the camera in a gown, and then she pulled back to reveal, and she was like in a leotard, and they literally like got an alert, and bitch had to like cut her off and was like, Nikki, I'm so sorry, but like our whole channel could get canceled for bare leg.
What is going on? Because what I need is I just am upset because like I love Twitch. She does great things for streaming, but like I just need a little more freedom. I would like to show a nipple here and there, a pasty nipple maybe. It just seems like the rules are very like back and forth about what I can and cannot show on. And it's like as far as drag, we kind of push the envelope anyway on stage. So it's like now we kind of have to tailor it for the internet. Or like not even really the internet, for Twitch.
Well, and that's that YouTube thing too, where like YouTube used to be like a little more free, and now it's like, oh, is this content for 18 plus? Like, is the and then all the people who make their living off of YouTube have to bleep every curse word they say, like out of nowhere.
Yes, because they'll get demonetized.
Girl,
it's so
YouTube
wild.
needs to get demonetized.
Period.
Period. Poo.
Period. Poo. Wait. So you. Okay.
Let's start.
Let's start at the very.
I
beginning.
have a question, because when I would like to start where we first met Miss Toto.
Mm-hmm.
Which was when?
I think we met at a drag con, but then like the first time we ever hung out was we were at I was like staying with you in Miami for a This Free Life event.
Yes, and we the party was like a warehouse party, and it was so hot, but it was so much fun. It was a fundraiser for something, but like in Miami in general, everything is always so hot, and I try to explain to people, I'm like, just be ready. Like, it feels like you're getting in drag underwater, and like they don't know what I mean.
Well, okay, first of all, it didn't feel like that because you had a very nice house at the time, and it was air conditioned the house down. And I was like doing my makeup there, and then we got to the gig, and I was like, "Oh, it's hotter in this building than it is outside." They like opened the door. Oh, so good.
Miami's so much fun.
I love Miami.
You're like an enigma to me, because I can't, which I think is part of your deal, but I like really can't figure it out. I'm always like, because I've been like a working artist for so long, I'm always like, what do you do? How do you make money? Like, where do you live? Like, what's going on? It's like, to me, you live in 4 cities. You have like all of these like brand partnerships. You do all of these events and things, but also you're a personal trainer. Also, you're a drag queen. Also, you produce your own shows. And like, theoretically.
Also, you own a dog. Also, you have like 8 chickens.
Right. And also, it's like, what's with the chickens? And where's the farmhouse that you have your farmer's market attached to?
Girl, it's just been so much, and I feel like part of it is like quarantine. Like, okay, so let's rewind. I was having panic attacks. I don't have panic attacks. I don't get anxiety like that, but Miss Corona had me messed up. So I said, you know what? Being in a major city is not for me. I'm going to the farm. And my boyfriend lives in Pennsylvania. So while I was here, I was like, I think it'd be very fierce if we like had chickens. And he was like, okay.
Oh, that was your new idea just within the quarantine?
Yeah.
Go on.
So then we raised these like baby chickens in the bathtub. And then they got big, obviously. And then on the farm, his moms have a farm like 20 minutes away. So like they have 40 chickens, and the chickens are just running around being happy big chickens.
Oh my god.
Wow. So I remember the first time I saw you perform was at, I think it was when Bushwig did a West Coast gig.
I remember that.
At Fault Line.
Fault Line.
Either I was there to watch or I was performing in Meatball. That's when we did that, like, you did the Carmen Miranda look for me.
Oh yes, and I threw
when
bananas
we did
at the
Chunkita.
audience.
Yeah, and you threw bananas. Because, Toto, you got up and, like, drank half a dozen eggs or something?
I did. So
Yeah.
usually what I do...
She was having dinner.
Yeah, I was hungry. Usually when I do that, I have like a blender bottle that I bring with me, but because it was like, I wasn't thinking, I don't think, I was like, oh, I need a blender bottle for when I go to DragCon, sure. So what they had was I got like one of the pint glasses, like the glass, like beer glasses from the bar, and just was cracking the raw eggs into those. And instead of like it being like a shaken up concoction like normal, it was just the raw, like chunky egg yolks.
The big yolks.
Yeah, and then it didn't help that I was already hammered. So I had just like a stomach full of vodka with now a stomach full of eggs. And then I'm going to take more shots after that anyway.
God.
It was disgusting.
I have no, like, I'm like trying to imagine the sensation of just like swallowing full yolk.
Yeah, like the texture's not the most ideal, but it is for the gag. Like, like I will take that 30 seconds of chugging some eggs for the gag of it.
Well, my jaw was on the ground for sure when I saw that. I was like, oh, she did not come to play. Nah. So,
Speaking of not playing, so you are currently in Pennsylvania, but right now?
So, okay, yeah. So I drove yesterday from Chicago to Pennsylvania because we have a wedding to go to this weekend.
Oh, not yours. Okay.
Not mine. So,
oh yeah,
normally
that
I'm in
tweet we
Chicago.
we all saw that tweet that was like, I paid all this money for a suit and I might not be going to a wedding, and we were like, well, is
Girl.
it your wedding?
Well,
girl. So listen, these people. All I need you to say, as a individual living in the world, is Black Lives Matter. You don't like if you have said all lives matter in the past. All I need you to do to cleanse your palate for this very moment is Black Lives Matter, and that's all I needed to hear from the groom. For me to say, okay, I will go to this wedding. Because what am I going to do? Sit at this wedding with all these white people as the only token Black person? Like, well, this is a very good episode of Real Life Get Out. So
yeah,
I at least need to have my bases covered, or I'm sitting my ass in this apartment with the dog, and we're not going.
I have a question for you because you're very outspoken about these things, and I've been a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. I've been going to the protests and things, but at what there are a lot of people who aren't saying anything. There are a lot of people that I follow and follow me and are supporting me that haven't said anything. I think it's everyone's responsibility to at least acknowledge that it's happening, or that if you are white and you haven't said anything, at least acknowledge that maybe by not saying anything or by posting just a single black square, you may be contributing to a problem of not using your voice.
Correct.
And I know I went through and I was very bored, and I just released makeup. So I'm seeing all these people who are liking my stuff and saying stuff to me that follow me and are excited for me. But I'll go to their page to be like, yes, diva. And I'll be like, oh, y'all don't care about Black people at all. You're just excited that this drag queen has I don't know. It's just strange to me.
So I feel like it's multiple things, because a lot of people don't want to have those conversations with their family and friends who they know are inherently racist, which these tough conversations are necessary because change is necessary. So I've had tough conversations with my friends being like, yo, I know your parents are low-key racist, and you posting this might spike a conversation, but it's a conversation that needs to happen. But then also, people think that it's a one-sided issue. They think it's only politics or it's only police brutality. And it's no, this is a much bigger issue than any select subject. So if you have a problem with the protest, or if you have a problem with the police, find something that aligns with what you believe in. Because there are so many different things that you can do to push forward the message and push forward the Black Lives Matter cause without saying, immediately like defund the police, or despite we always want to defund the police, but if that's not your move, you don't have to say that. Like I told one of my friends, she is a dietitian, and she was like, I don't believe in the looting and blah blah blah, and I was like, girl, you don't have to. You're a dietitian. There are kids who can't get school lunches now because of the protests. So like you can donate money and your time and your energy and food to those places that are now redistributing those lunches to kids. It's like you're still helping the movement without being like invested in the police portion of it or the politics portion of it. It's like find something that makes sense for you and be vocal about it, because once again, silence is violence. And if you're not saying something, that in turn is just racism, and they're afraid to like use their voice for the movement.
Right. I mean, it's inherent to privilege, because I was listening back to like our last episode and we were talking about something, and I kept saying, when we were talking about white people, I kept saying they, and I was like, oh no, I need to be saying we, because I live in a world where I'm a white man, like hello. And so
but also you were describing a mindset of that you don't have. So you were describing people that don't have that mindset when you were saying they.
Sure, but I need to say we, and I need to take ownership because of the fact of how I am in the world and how I'm perceived and the way in which I walk around the world. And so
I agree.
For me, something that I have dealt with in my own sort of like fragility of like, oh, I'm a public person, like, oh, I make rap music, like I and I was like, I want to walk my razor thin line, and it's like, no, I actually just want to say how I feel. And the moment you dip your toe in and go like, oh yeah, it wasn't hard for me to stand up for what I believe in, because guess what? It's the right thing to do. And then you go like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. And then it becomes easier and easier. And I think there are a lot of people like Meatball, you're saying, who follow you or support you but haven't said anything. It's a position of privilege where they can feel uncomfortable enough where they say, I don't want to say anything. And we have to step up and actually say something.
Yeah.
And then the momentum builds and you feel more empowered to actually use your voice. It's cowardly to sit back and not say anything.
Exactly.
Especially when you're of the mindset that you know it's wrong and you're going, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation. So you're saying an uncomfortable conversation for us is worth more than someone's life? Like that
is just crazy to me.
Yeah. Completely.
It's so crazy to me.
Because I think about this, like, yes, the uncomfortable conversations have to happen. Like, that's just part of what's going on.
Right.
And I've even had to have them with my own parents who are Black. Like, I literally had to check my mom and be like, sis, have your white friends checked on you? Has your white husband checked on you? Because then she was like, well, you have a white boyfriend. Not all white people are evil. I said, don't bring him into this. My white boyfriend was on the Capitol steps of Pennsylvania screaming his head off for the protest. So don't bring him into this.
Yeah.
And she like took it back a minute and was like, honestly, I'm just tired of it. Like, this is like, I was born during the LA riots, like in 1992.
Yeah.
Like, born during that. She was like, that was the scariest thing. And now we're doing it again and I'm over it. Like, I don't want to have to be doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it. But also, you're in a small white town where all your friends are white. You need to hold them accountable. Check them. And she was like, okay, you're right. Like, thank you for saying that, because I was living in a bubble as well.
Well, I knew my family was trash, not my immediate family, because my parents have been checking in on me, but my extended family was trash because not a damn one of them has said anything or even checked on me. Like, it's bad. I don't know. Like, where's the line? I don't want to have the conversation with them. I'd rather just disown them.
Okay, see, and that's easy.
I would rather just say, or not say anything and just be like, stay over there and just be fucking quiet, because I don't need to hear South Louisiana talking to me about this, especially South Louisiana white people who were pretty racist when I was a kid.
It's a no. So like, and that's the other thing. It's like, is it worth the conversation when you aren't going to be associating with them anyway? Because I think about that. I'm like, I'm not even going to try to talk to you about this, because I know that it is a lost cause, and it's not going to do me or you any favors for me to get like riled up and stressed out to try to change your opinion on something when I can be focusing my energy elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you're so mature and like smart about this. How have you been an activist for a very long time? Like, how did you start doing
Also,
this?
wait, because you're younger than I think you are.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm
what?
27
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With a master's.
with a master's. But like, I don't know. I think with just everything I've been doing has been like low key activism, but I've just never like put on the big girl activism pants and been like, I'm gonna change the world. Like everything has that I've been doing is like low key. Like we have that party, Unfriendly Black Hotties, and I always try to put like Black people in my shows and bring diversity. But now it's like, okay, this is a time in which I really should use this. I like to use the word platform because people like throw that around. I'm like, okay, I do have some followers. You might as well engage them and use as an influencer, use your influence to do something.
Right.
Mhm.
So, and then the other thing is just like in my personal life, I lash out a lot. Like I have a very sharp tongue, and I realized
That's why everyone loves you.
Yeah. Your Twitter
I
is
like-
where it's at.
You
I-
logically log on and go like,
Who
I've
we
had my
fighting?
coffee. Now, who wants to fight?
Let's fight. but I've realized, like, even okay, so like 2 days ago, I had this conversation with that very tone deaf white boy who had that very tone deaf sign at the drag march. And while I was like getting prepared
Can you
for like,
fill
him
us
to-
Can
in
you
on
fill
what
the
that is?
audience in?
girl? Okay, so the sign.
So you're referring
said-
to the March for Change that happened in Chicago this past
So-
weekend.
Correct. It was on Sunday, and it was like drag focused, which then invited people to like wear heels and stuff. Which, like, granted, I was in full drag. I just left a photo shoot, and I was in this like sickening Wakanda outfit. Like, I
Mhm.
of course was gonna march in that. So then I see this video of this white gay with a sign. Let me pull up the exact receipt of the sign because the sign said, okay, child, let me see what this says. It says, it was so embarrassing. It is so humiliating. The sign says, don't open your mouth for black dick then.
Oh, Lord.
And then followed with a video of him walking poorly in heels and then getting one of his heels stuck in the like bicycle wheel. of
I
a
saw
cyclist.
that video. He got stuck. He couldn't get
Like-
out.
Like, what is going on? So also, you're just putting yourself at risk as a protester if anything does go down versus, and all the people who are around you are also at risk.
Mhm.
So I saw this and I was like, child, let me just log on. So then someone messages me and says, Toto, he's on IG Live now talking about it. And I was like, ladies, assemble. I hop over to the live. All the girls are on the live. It went from 26 viewers to like close to 300. It was messy. So then he's like talking and spouting off, but not letting anyone talk. Then he ends up letting Dairy Queen from Chicago, like, she talks for a second. She was like, hi, I don't know why you let me in here because I am white. So I'm going to say my piece and then I'm going to log off and you're going to let a black person speak. And that's exactly what she did. Then Olympia from New York hopped on and said her piece. And then I hopped on. And then like through the time of Dairy and Olympia, I was like, if I read this man for filth, he will not listen to anything I have to say. So I need to educate him and not completely read his ass because I needed to sink in. I need him to understand
Mhm.
what he did was wrong and why it was wrong and what he can do to do better. So I laid it all out there. I told him, I was like, sis, like, we're not even going to discuss the sign because you know it's tone deaf. What you need to do is take a minute and realize that these protests are not about you. And you say you have these black friends. What have you done for them? And as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, what are you doing for your immediate community of the black people within that sector? Like, I'm not saying you need to change the world, but if you consider yourself a member of the LGBTQ plus community, you can at least help those black people in this community. So what have you done? What are you going to do? And then at the end of the call, I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to hang up. You're going to say what you learned. And I'm going to DM you a link to Brave Space Alliance in Chicago, which is a black and trans-led organization for black and trans people in Chicago. And I sent him the link. He donated, and then he started posting links shortly after. And I was like, okay, this is growth. You're not a changed person, but
Right.
it's baby steps. And I feel like if I came at him and just read him and called him a white faggot, like, I don't think it would have gone the same. So that's why I'm trying to use my
You
words.
just send him links for how to walk in heels
Yeah.
tutorials.
my
Well,
God.
because I saw that video online. And I saw the picture of the guy with the sign. I didn't realize it was the same person, but everyone was commenting like, this is what I mean when I say white gays. Like, that was
Girl.
like the
Period.
tag, and it was like, period. That is it. That is the problem.
But
Yeah, it's
in
yeah.
the,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say like the overarching thing was I didn't even see all that at the march because it was just so overwhelmingly powerful and like positive that it was like a day later that I'm just like on Twitter minding my business and I see this and I'm like, see, if I would have seen this in person, he would have got cussed out, period. Like, so I'm glad I didn't see it. But it was, I don't even know how many people there were, but like the speeches were all amazing. I was honestly shocked at like how many people came out for it. And then the immediate response from like especially all of the clubs and bars in Boys Town are like they're ready. They're ready to make the change because they know they've messed up and they're ready to be held accountable because they know that they won't have a successful club if we all say no.
Right. I'm curious about because you recently moved to Chicago.
Yeah, it was about a year ago.
Okay. Because, I grew up in Evanston and I remember in high school hearing so much about, I guess the headline is like violence in Boys Town, right? And like the way the media was portraying any sort of act of violence that would happen, which was oftentimes people coming from other neighborhoods for a safe space to be queer, and bar owners and security officers, being discriminatory at the door and basically causing conflict and creating this like negative environment in Boys Town. But that wasn't really how it was painted, like in the newspaper and in the articles. And I remember after I was living in Andersonville, we would do we were doing like a lot of I worked with like a queer youth theater, and basically we were using this space in the center to have our workshops or whatever. But we had members from the theater coming from all over the city, and so many people, we were all like, this is amazing, we're at the center. And so many people were like, I actually don't feel safe in this neighborhood at all. Like, you think this is the gay neighborhood, but like when I have to take the bus an hour and a half to be here, it's not safe for me, and then I have to go home at night, and then I have and so I think a lot of people, because I believe Boys Town was one of the first nationally recognized like gay neighborhoods in the country.
Correct. Yeah.
But it's like it is a white neighborhood. Like,
yes, and I said that like in my little speech. I was like, I think it's amazing y'all turned out. This is amazing. The claps, the cheers are great, but like this is bigger than just y'all coming to the protest, coming to the march. Like you yourselves have to hold yourselves accountable as attendees of these spaces and look around and realize there are no Black people here. There are no Black performers here. There are barely any POC performers at all that are booked at these specific clubs. And I think part of it is like, yeah, they do have a couple Black girls, but like they're the token and they're only booked for like a Beyonce night,
right,
or something like that. And I'm like, that's where the problem lies. Or the microaggressions, even just all the way down to like telling the DJs, don't play too much hip hop music.
That is what I heard. Like, my entire understanding of Boys Town was anytime we would go out, I would say like, where can we go dance? And everyone would be like, not in Boys Town. Like they're not allowed to play hip hop music.
There was a bar here in downtown LA that is not one of the gay bars. It was a straight bar that put on a gay night, and one of my friends was hosting the show, and she
you
would
pause before you said friends.
Well, I was gonna, anyway. Somebody I know was hosting the show. A drag queen was hosting the show, and the performers that were bringing in the best numbers and the biggest audience were Black performers like Calypso Jete and like those dancing girls that are bucking and doing all these amazing stunts and tricks. People were coming in to watch them. They said that was too ghetto and asked for them to stop booking those girls, and basically was just asking for a more white lineup. And then the night got canceled because no one was going anymore because the audience wanted to see good performers.
Yeah.
I feel like that's everywhere. And I feel like Chicago's doing a very good job at trying to set an example of like, this is probably happening in your city and you might not feel comfortable speaking up on it and standing up for it. So here's a template of what you can do. And here's how you can like, and we're here to help people like do that. Because I was also thinking like, yeah, we have parties in Chicago. There's Molasses Collective, which is amazing. Black Girl Magic, and then there's also Unfriendly Black Hotties. They're all 3 Black-based parties, which do happen in Boys Town. And yes, we are allowed to play our music then. We are allowed to have our full Black cast then. But on the other nights, can I go to that club and hear hip hop music? Probably not. And I think that like they're giving us the space of like, you can have this little window to play your hip hop and have your little Black night. But as soon as the doors close and we start the next day, it's back to square one where we started.
How often do you do Unfriendly Black Hotties, which is a Mean Girls reference, right?
Yes, because
Okay.
I like we created that like last July. We were all literally hanging out and we were like, we're the Unfriendly Black Hotties. That's like very us. And then it spiraled into being like, you know what? Let's try to do a party, and it worked. So we do Unfriendly Black Hotties once a month, and Black Girl Magic is every 3rd Wednesday, I believe. It's actually tonight, which is great online.
Oh, nice.
And that's by the Vixen. And then Molasses is a part of Lucy Stool, and then this amazing trans woman named Zola. So like they exist, and it's terrible because I look at it and I'm like, the attendance on some of these parties is low. And you're always saying like, oh, I support Black queens, I support Black talent. It's like, name five Black drag queens in Chicago that were not on RuPaul's Drag Race and that are not booked regularly at these white spaces. Like, I want you to find them, because obviously they're gonna know who like the Unfriendly Black Hotties are, and you're gonna know who the Black Girl Magic girls are because they're at these white spaces.
She said, obviously,
because
you know.
Because
No,
I'm in the white
joking.
spaces. I'm like,
Right.
if I'm at Roscoe's or Sidetrack, it's like, oh, there she is. But it's like, there are people that don't perform in those spaces because they don't get booked there.
So I want to, because I saw a tweet yesterday, you know, like I have roots in Chicago. I spent like 6 years living there as an adult. Growing up in Evanston, I'm like close to it. So I always sort of, that's where I became an artist. So I like really keep my eyes on Chicago, even though I'm not actively a part of the scene. And obviously the March for Change was huge. And then something that came out of that is a former guest on this podcast, T-Rex, got called out by the community. And then there was a letter sent, and she responded to the letter. There's going to be a town hall. So there's a lot of like active change going on there. The tweet that I saw, and if you want to get into it, I spent like an hour reading Twitter. Like there's a lot. There's a lot to digest.
There's a lot to map out because everyone is tweeting about it, so I can't get like a full.
But the one thing I was going to say is the letter is signed by like, it looks like 50 or 75 artists, and then at the end it says and many more. And someone tweeted, what's crazy is I don't recognize so many of these names, and that is on me, as like, you know, that is ultimately the whole thing. It's like, these are artists working in the community, and obviously like certain artists rise up and get bigger, but we also need to recognize that the system in place to allow those artists to rise up and get bigger is controlled by
flawed.
white people. And flawed.
Yeah. So I think part of that is like the non-intentional gatekeeping. Like, that was just like so many microaggressions that I had heard, just whether that was in Chicago or Miami, but it's things like that the Black queens are always held to like a higher standard of what is expected versus the white queens. And that's the same thing of like, can you do like this is things that I've like never really realized until all of it started happening. Like, could you do a high energy number? Basically knowing that I can do tricks and splits and stunts, and that's what you want me to be your trick pony. Or like, oh, you're wearing that again? I'm like, yes, I am wearing it again because it's expensive. Like, why are you reading? Like, this is like little things like that I just kind of brushed under the rug because I need to eat. I need to pay my rent. And I'm not going to speak up on it because I was just feeling in a tight position of like, do I just deal with it and get my coin, or do I speak up and not get booked again because these people have the power to just like knock me out of the city, especially as a new girl. So that was definitely like on me to not speak up, and I definitely understand why other people not in my position would also not speak up, because it's a position of like a power and a fear that you're gonna not be able to work in the city anymore. And I think with the way that it was set up of like having actual change in as far as the T-Rex letter, having action items of like, here is what we would like you to do to make the actual change. And then that turned into having a conversation with the bars. The bars all want to have a town hall with us as well, with representatives to to make change as well, because like it's more than just a person. Where
Yes.
every city is going to have one or two people who have done that and whatever, but it's the establishments themselves that also need to hold themselves accountable to be like, wait, I am a part of the problem, whether or not that's intentional. Being aware of it makes it more, it makes it easier for them to remedy the situation, opposed to saying like, oh, this isn't me, we have a black drag queen. It's like, no, everyone is being held accountable and everyone's going to sit down at this table and speak with us.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting to see that, because when we had T-Rex on our podcast, we talked so much about, oh, and you have this contest and you make room for so many people and you uplift so many people. It's like from the outside, what it looked like happening was like, oh, it's not just the same 5 girls on rotation on my one show. It's like all of this other opportunity. And so I think like reading that letter, like that is the that is the thing we were talking about having, like, jumping that hurdle to have the conversation and really look at behavior. And even reading that letter, I was like, oh, I'm a producer and I'm a white person and I reach out to people and ask people to do things, and like I just started, inventorying behavior and thinking back on situations, because the only way we can move forward is by being aware of it and making the change to do better.
Yeah.
And I think that ties into just the society in general. Like it has been taught to people for like hundreds of years. Like this is the way that Black people are treated. This is how you are in a position of power as a white person. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's about changing the behavior on all aspects. Because even for me, I'm like, this is a position that I've not been in ever, where I'm like so hyper aware of my Blackness. To now be able to I'm holding the mic now. Like, y'all are listening to me, and I've never been in that position to where everyone's listening to me. And it's a great feeling, but it's also making other people feel the same. And I'm hoping like more Black people are feeling vocal and powerful enough to speak up, but then also the white people who have inadvertently taken part in it and recognize that and realize, which I think is also part of what is happening in Chicago, because people are stepping forward themselves. They're like, hey, I've been a part of this issue. Here are the things I've done in the past. And here are the things I'm going to do to make the change. And I think that's a great thing that's happening, instead of it being like a witch hunt with us wheeling out the guillotine of like, who's next?
But the guillotine, like, I heard about the guillotine.
Who's next?
Because I texted you, I said, "Oh, baby, there's a reckoning in Chicago. Something is going on." But I guess my question is like, I'm excited to see how the scene in Chicago changes, how clubs are being held responsible, and what they're going to do in order to rectify what they've done. But how can what is happening in Chicago, like, how can this change drag? Like, how can this change white RuPaul's Drag Race viewers of drag to seeing Black drag queens as equals, not as just like filler and or mean girls to send death threats to?
Ooh.
I think also in part, right, correct. I think in part of the movement, like I'm just seeing my timeline being filled with the Black Ru girls a lot more, which I love. And then also we have such like a strong winners past, like Evie going to Jada, and then I don't know Shay's gonna win, but Shay's my winner.
It better be Shay, baby.
Right, but like, and then each
episode
season,
1,
so
we're
many,
all like, it's Shay. It's got to be Shay.
It's Shay. Right, episode 2, it's Shay. So, but like, even within the seasons, there are so many strong Black characters and performers that I think are like so strong in their own regard that would not be getting the highlight and attention they would be getting in a normal world where the Black Lives Matter movement wasn't happening. Even like bringing back Monet, like Monet was being slept on for so long, and now I'm seeing her all in my timeline, and I'm loving it. So, and then because of Drag Race, that trickles down into the bigger like cities. So like, because of these Black drag queens getting more attention, obviously more local queens, especially local Black queens, are getting more attention through that. And I think that's great, because people are then checking themselves like, oh, I am only a fan of white drag queens, or right. I only am a fan of this archetype that Drag Race has created of like the skinny white fashion queen. It's like, no, you need to open your mind to more than that, which is just like, you can open your mind to more than that just within Drag Race. But then looking at the broad spectrum of just like Black queens in general, it's not just the beauty Shea Coulee or like the weirdos like Evie. It's like look at the creep show we're doing. It's like there's the whole gamut of
Yeah.
a Black performer. It's like we're not just only stuck in one thing, and I think that's great because I feel like people are being held accountable and holding themselves accountable for their inherent racism, even within selecting drag queens that they're fans of.
And I think, I mean, again, it also plays into the white privilege and the white influence also of these influencers or drag queens. Like, I remember, I feel like there was like a moment after Aquaria won when she was like, Mayhem, like, I'm such a fan of Mayhem, and everyone was like, wait, what? I don't get it. You're just like, because you stan Aquaria, you're like, that's it. It's just this like 21-year-old white person that I'm going to pay attention to. And when these queens who have huge platforms celebrate other queens, their followers, maybe blindly, will go, oh, okay, they like them, I'll like them. But the more you're aware and the more you're exposed and the more you literally go like, oh, I get it. Everyone's doing drag here. It's exactly like what you said. Like, you might not even be aware that you are just implicitly only following certain types of people.
And I think that ties into like the white ally thing, because I've told people this before. I'm like, it is important that you as a white person are vocal, because like they might not listen to me because I'm coming off as the angry Black woman who has a lot to say. But because I always have a lot to say. But like hearing it from someone who looks like them and comes from a similar experience as them, they might be more apt to listen to you than listening to me. So that's why I tell like white allies, I'm like, you need to speak up, be vocal, because all you need to do is change one person's mind, and then that can spark some change. And it's very important for them to realize that, because a lot of people think like, oh, I don't have a following, or I'm not an influencer. It's like, if you're a person walking this earth, you have an influence on somebody.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's go to a break. And we're black. Do you know Wicked? Have you heard of Wicked?
Do you remember Shea Coulee's entrance line from this season?
Yeah.
Yes.
She said, I'm black. I screamed.
I screamed.
Ugh.
Are you a musical theater diva?
Wait, do you know Wicked?
I do know Wicked. Okay, Meatball, I was literally driving to, where was I driving to? Chicago. And I found my Wicked CD in my car.
Oh my God.
I was a musical theater gay boots. And I just like, I loved Wicked. What was I? Hairspray. The movie. Billy Elliot.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
So embarrassing.
So where were you a musical theater gay? Where did you start realizing you were a homosexual? Because you've lived in every state now.
Well, I knew I was a homosexual when I was a child, but musical theater I didn't start doing seriously till like high school. And then I was doing like, that's when I did Hairspray, Sweeney Todd, Footloose, Oklahoma, which that was a microaggression, which I'm not happy about. And then would do like little summer productions too. But I remember in Oklahoma, my one singing line was plenty of room to swing a rope.
Oh,
what?
No. Oh no.
How interesting.
Where was
like,
this? Florida or where?
This is in Maryland, like Maryland, girl. I was like, you know what? I'm a freshman.
no.
I'll sing this line. I'll sing this little line knowing I'm going to be the star for the next 3 years. Let me just sing this line and mind my business, and I'll get mine. And I did, so it was fine.
I would have just changed it. I would have like been like, plenty of room to find some hope.
Oh my God. Well, that was also like when we did Jesus Christ Superstar. I wanted to be Black Jesus.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Black Jesus doesn't exist. Jesus is dark.
Correct. I was like, I think this town needs a Black Jesus. So I was like, talk to the director. I was like, I want to be Jesus. He was like, audition for Jesus. And then I auditioned and I got Judas. And then I was like, oh, so the Black guy's the villain. And then I actually read the script and Judas was the main character. So I was like, okay, that's fierce. Let me be quiet. Let me be quiet.
Did you do the kind of script reading where you don't actually read it, you just count your lines?
Count lines.
You're like 83. I have
like,
83 lines.
That was exactly me. And I was like, I was like, just the idea of having my like shitty little white town have a black Jesus. I just wanted to shake the table,
Sure.
despite the role not being as good. I just wanted to be like, I was Black Jesus, but the role of Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar is much better. So I'm like thankful for that. But I still would have wanted to be Black Jesus.
Listen, I'm still butthurt that I didn't get to play Anne Frank's dad in The Diary of Anne Frank, even though I gave the best reading.
Wait, who did you end up playing?
Mr. Dussel, the doctor.
Yeah, we.
I basically, they thought that no one would believe that I could be the father of a white Anne Frank. And I said, excuse me, we're doing this in a cafeteria.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing this in a cafeteria.
And how many kids did they cast as Nazis is the real question.
3 of them. And I had like a flashback the other day. One of the girls fully dressed as a Nazi. At the same time, we had a speaker come to our school and he was in Auschwitz.
Oh!
So she was in her Nazi costume and ran up and gave him a hug to say like, hey. And she was like
in her Nazi costume?
Yeah, this dumb white bitch didn't understand. We were like, hey, girl, that was the dumbest and most offensive thing you could have done. And she was like, I don't understand why. And we are like, well, you have a red band on your arm. You're in green. You probably look like something you had to see a lot of.
Jesus.
I'm shocked.
I know. My mom was like, she should be expelled. We're like, she was old enough to know that was wrong.
That is psycho.
My God. But that also makes me think, like, I learned a lot about the Holocaust and, like, Jewish history and stuff, like, growing up. And I'm like, why do I know so much information about the Holocaust, but not even about, like, Black people? Like,
right. Yeah, speaking
of...
so...
I hate everyone being like, they're trying to tear down these statues and get rid of American history. And I was like, look in the fucking history book. Slavery isn't in there. So they've already gotten rid of American history. What are you talking about? I didn't learn about slavery until I went to like the full timeline and everything that happened, because I went and I had a fucking textbook from Texas where they were like, yes, they had beautiful quarters and they loved working and they decided to stay.
Oh my God.
And like, I didn't know, like, I knew about slavery because my parents sat me down and made me watch Roots when I was young. And then like, just there were little parts of it, but like, and I knew I was born during the LA riots, but I didn't know that the riots were race-based. And I didn't know like the severity of it. Because my mom was like, yeah, you were born during the riots, end of conversation. And then I like just recently watched the Netflix documentary about it. And I was like, oh, this is what went down. And I understand why you don't want to talk about it, because that shit was scary. Like, that is like, watching it, I'm like, I think the people are lucky right now because the LA riots were nuts. And this seems tame compared to what was happening then.
But we don't know, like, honestly, the LA riot, never mind. Just watch the video. Watch the
documentary.
Documentary on Netflix, and there's one on Hulu now too.
I was gonna say about the OJ case that, like, that it was, you know, we think about okay, yes, everything is like erased and the education system has failed us, but like, even you know, like, I grew up in a white liberal household with parents who like worked for nonprofit organizations to like help, you know, the public community. And I'm like, you didn't see the OJ case as a perfect opportunity to like open up a conversation about race in America? I literally came home from school where we listened to the verdict and I was like, wait, I don't understand. All the white people were upset and all the black people were, I was like, it doesn't, I was like, why is this a different? And that is so rooted in so many other things more than just one case in court, you know?
Do white people get upset with you, Miss Toto, when you dress up like Harriet Tubman and run through a field?
They
try. Run Away.
And I'm like,
wait, what song is that with? Run Away with
Run
Me?
Away with Me by Carly Rae
Jepsen. It's the video's online. People need to see it.
But I also like the clip with the Nicki Minaj.
So like, I've had white people try to be like, this is offensive. I'm like, baby, it's my culture. So
yeah. That's like one time I did a Rosa Parks number. Hold on. Just wait a minute. So Madonna sang Wheels on the Bus one time. And then it went into the cha-cha slide because everyone was like trying to tell her what to do. But I didn't do any of it. I just stayed seated. Is that offensive?
No. I also did a Rosa Parks number too. And I had my white friend do Move Bitch Get Out the Way.
Okay, see?
Okay, I want to
'Cause,
talk about. Yeah, go ahead. What were
I
you
was just
gonna say?
gonna say, as a Black person, you can do historical references because like you can. That's how that works. Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
I
As
want
long
to
as I have
talk
permission
about
from you.
some more of your iconic drag
Life?
performances. After Bird Box came out, we saw you haul a full ass canoe on a stage in Miami at Gramps.
Yes.
And you had your blindfolded children with you, and you were like, "Get in the canoe."
You did the
Correct.
whole monologue. Wait, what
Like,
song
okay,
did that
so-
one go into?
I did. It was "Close Your Eyes" by Kimberly Petrus,
Mhm.
despite her Dr. Luke affiliation, but we're not going to go there. Then I did "Greenfinch and Linnet Bird" from Sweeney Todd, musical theater girl jump.
There you go.
I did "Rolling Down the River" by Tina Turner, and then I think I ended with "I Can See Clearly Now the Rain Is Gone."
That's the T.
But I got the idea, and I was like, immediately was just on Facebook. I'm like, who has a canoe? And people were
But
like,
girl, in
"For
Miami,
what?"
people
Right.
had canoes.
So, the girls had canoes. So I went and got a canoe, strapped it to the top of my tiny Hyundai. And then I had my 2 non-binary brown children who were
Yes.
full-grown adults. They just were 5 foot tall. And we rehearsed it like a couple times, and we did it. And it was so funny and stupid. But like all it took was a text to be like, "Hey, Hot Pants, I know I'm not booked tonight, but I have an idea. Can I bring a canoe?" And he was like, "I guess. Like, do what you want to do, girl."
And what is that part? I think I play that party. It's at Gramps in Miami, which is like it's like an outdoor venue. It's like a little. It's kind of like Austin.
It's indoor, outdoor.
In
Correct.
Miami, there's a lot of bars like Austin where it's like there's a tiny physical building, but then all this outdoor space that's
Yeah.
like part of the bar.
It's Double Stubble, which is
Yes.
what was before Coronisha was a weekly party, but before that, it was a Sunday tea dance party. And that's where I like met so many of my friends, and it was so much fun. Like best DJs, there was like maybe 1 or 2 drag shows, and it was like as the sun was setting on a Sunday, and then it transitioned into being a weekly drag party, which everyone wanted to go to.
Yeah, that was super fun. I played down there, and I met King Femme.
Yes,
Yes.
At that show, which was awesome. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with a lot of those queens in Miami. Wait, okay, and then
You also did a
yeah.
Coachella Beyonce
Uh-huh.
performance with which you, but then you had a million yous behind you doing the dance from
Correct.
Coachella,
I just,
Beyonce.
I
She's
didn't
a tech
want
queen.
to like allegedly. I just didn't want to teach people choreography, and I'm like, it's much easier for me to change wigs and record myself on a green screen and then just edit myself multiple times.
I don't
And
know background dancers.
I was like, girl, I'll be my own backup dancer. But that
It's
was
more cost
for-
effective to travel that show
Yeah.
around the country. It's you and a USB drive.
Well, because I was doing it for nightgowns, and Sasha was like, because typically, from my understanding, is like she would be like, I want you to do this number for nightgowns. But she was like, do you want to do nightgowns? And I was like, I guess, like, let me put something together.
Oh
And
my
it was
god.
for Pride last year. So that was
Amazing.
the 50th anniversary, I believe, of Stonewall, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
Was that
last
the
year.
number?
Yeah, last
Okay.
year they did 50.
And
I'm on
Yeah,
that.
go Meatball.
no, why don't you
We
do-
have a whole list of questions because you do
that we never got to because we like
so
we're
much.
talking so much at the beginning. But also recently you did the Wynwood Pride, which raised how much money for Black Lives
Honey,
Matter?
see, I don't even
donations?
know. We're not even done. So the total so far is like 20,000, and we're still keeping it up and raising more money because they're gonna be putting it like leaving it live all Pride Month. And I'm still getting money for it. So it's like so far personally I've raised 30,000, and then Wynwood Pride just did 20 more thousand, and then we're not even done. So
Can you talk a little bit about what Wynwood Pride is, or what that is? Is
Yeah,
a neighborhood in
so-
Miami?
yes, so Wynwood is a neighborhood in Miami, and it's pretty much it's a pride, but instead of it being your traditional pride with like floats and the parade and all that, it's a music festival. So last year in real life, we had my Miss Toto's Fun House at the entrance of Pride, and then there was like a pop stage, then there was like the main stage. Everything was just a very big like music festival. And then this year, obviously because of Corona, we were going to switch it to just an online show, and that was going to benefit, I believe it was like Planned Parenthood and the ACLU and stuff like that. Then, as soon as the Black Lives Matter stuff happened, the team calls me and they're like, Toto, it's go time. Like, let's go. So immediately, without question, we switched everything over to partner with Plus One, and then there are 4 different beneficiaries related to the Black Lives Matter movement. And it was just crazy because we ended up doing a digital festival. So it was a squad stream on Twitch, which I didn't even know was a thing. But you're pretty much able to watch and select like multiple streams at once. So it's like going from stage to stage at a festival.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had my own fun house. It had like 2 Unfriendly Black Hotties segments. It had Big Frida. It had Orville Pegg. We had Louisiana Purchase, Lucy, Stool, Shay, the Vixen. And then on the other stages, like we had Rebecca Black do a DJ set. Chester Lockhart did a DJ set.
Amazing.
It was so major. It was like, what was going on? And then because of the regulations and like Corona being able to open places up again, they had an actual location in Miami where a couple of the girls were able to go and perform live with like a real camera crew and lighting and everything. So it was
so they were like live on a stage, but then it was got it.
Yeah,
that was Twink,
so
and who else was in that number?
Morphine. It was the House of Love. My girl. It was crazy, but it's like now that we've set that kind of standard for ourselves as far as a digital festival, and we're still raising money. Like I'm looking forward to the future of seeing like, okay, this was a tester of what we can do, and now how are we going to take it to the next level and make it bigger and raise more money?
Do you think that digital drag, because this is a question that's coming up now that like literally cities are opening up too early and whatnot, let's not get into it.
Girl.
Do you think digital drag will be still a viable source of entertainment after Miss Corona?
I believe so, because I think a lot of people, this is not shade, I think a lot of people who are not great at on-stage performances are thriving online.
Yes.
Because they have the availability and edit and like give backgrounds and effects and everything. Like, and I love that, especially for the people who are more creative than I am. I'm like, I love seeing the shit they do with the edit. And I also like the ability to stay home and still enjoy drag. And I know there are a lot of people, especially like in the LGBT community, like don't feel like comfortable going out all the time. Like not everyone's an extrovert. Not everyone wants to be in a loud, noisy club. Not everyone wants to be out until 3 a.m. But if you can enjoy a drag show from the comfort of your couch and just drink a beer, so be it. And still support and tip the queens and kings and things, and be involved with the drag community and scene without physically being there.
Yeah. I think it would be really cool to stream live shows, and at live shows where there are people have a projected, because now like we learn about this all the time, like as you produce events, like you have to train your audience to expect a certain thing. Like I've traveled around to a lot of different cities, and in certain places it's like everyone tips really well because you teach your audience that's what you do. So now we know how to watch a drag queen lip sync to a song on a video for 3.5 minutes. So now you can actually do that. You could do a mix of that and live show, and then you could stream the whole thing. You know, like you could have a club night
Also,
where there are 300 people in there in person, but 2,000 people watching at home.
I also am just kind of excited to see like some of the good numbers. You know how at Precinct in certain bars they'll just play the music video and stuff.
Yeah.
Like now we can replace that with like actual good content from drag queens and pop. Well, the good one should go on. Not that I don't want a bad one. I don't want to see bad ones.
Because just like everything,
everyone knows that they have good and bad numbers. I know that my physical video is not good.
Yes. And I'll tell you why.
These are things that I know.
You didn't.
I don't need to hear why.
You didn't.
I don't need to hear why. I don't.
And you knew it, and then you still ran through the butt in front of the green screen in the wrong outfit. The continuity was off, sis.
Ooh, I think, well, also they do this in Florida. Back to the point, they do this in Florida. Like my drag mom hosts a drag brunch, and because there can only fit a certain amount of people because of regulation, she streams the drag brunch online as well from the restaurant. And I think I've been thinking about this in reference to just Unfriendly Black Hotties. Like the club that we do it at, Splash, has screens everywhere. So even in between, like we could stream those live performances, but on our commercial breaks or whatever, like play our videos with our little Venmo QR code at the bottom, scan that shit and tip me, because I'm also not touching actual physical money until at least 2021 because that's disgusting.
Wait, when is your first club gig? When are you first hitting
I don't have any yet at all.
Are
and
you?
I won't be taking any.
Okay,
no.
that's what I guess I'm asking is because now I'm starting to get invites to go perform places starting in July. Like physically be in a room full of people and take money out of their hands.
Do you
I
remember
think
the
it's
Naked?
Up to you.
Do you remember the Naked Gun film when they wore the full body condoms? Did you
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
See,
I'll
I'm gonna
perform in a
do it.
hazmat suit. I hope they don't mind. I can put a
also, like,
costume on over the hazmat.
I was curious about how you felt, Miss Toto, about the virus because your look was
Girl.
stunning at the drag march, but I didn't see a mask.
Honey, I forgot my mask. That's the tea. That is actual tea. But then I was like, also, all these people are like far away in front of me, so I'm okay.
Well,
But-
also everyone else had a mask, so you could be the one without it, and you were beat,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
Me and Dipper went to
And I was
that march, and I at one point took my mask off to drink water, and he turned around and caught me at that moment and was like, put your mask on.
Well,
But I will
thinking,
say,
like,
I thought that I was going to get corona. Like, I just went and got tested and came back negative. But I've been to 3 different marches, been up on top of people, been running from people. Like, I've been doing a lot and nothing. I'm fine.
You're staying protected.
like in Texas, I think my friend was telling me that like they're doing shows. The people have to stay seated. The queens can't get off the stage. So it's a very like disconnected experience, and the money is being like collected in a tip bucket. So you don't have to touch anything.
In some counties in California, you have to do it that way because of the liquor license. They're not allowed to physically take money. So, anyway.
I don't know.
See,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Like I'm wearing like multiple layers of gloves.
Yes.
I was wearing my mask at the club before the regulations, and people were like, "You're scaring the patrons." I'm like, "Baby, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my mask." Period.
They should be scared.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna round things out. I love talking to you. You're so great to
Yeah,
talk
this
to.
is so fun. Should we ask just some? We didn't ask half of these questions.
It's fine.
Pick one. Pick a couple. I'm ready.
You have a
Do it.
dog? You have a
Yep.
dog named Tate?
My dog is Tate is
Oh.
right there.
Oh my God.
Does Tate travel from city to city with you as well?
Yes, girl. Tate flies. She's been to LA, Chicago, Miami, DC, New York.
Has Tate been to a
Girl.
drag con yet?
Yes, Tate was at last year's drag con.
Yes.
Do you wear Tate in a baby Bjorn on your chest?
No, she's so big. Tate's like 70 pounds. I could carry it, but
I was
She's
like,
like, not
act
doing
like
that.
you can't carry it. Like you can walk around with
Right.
100 pounds in your arm, no problem.
yeah, she's fine.
Do you have sex in drag? Are you that girl?
I have not had sex in drag. I have had sex whilst getting out of drag.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
I'm not getting like plowed in the wig, but like let me take my wig and my lashes and everything off, and then we'll like figure it out.
And
Yeah, because you got some big old hip pads. You got some body
Yes,
shape.
girl.
And that's hard to get through.
I need to get the pads off, and I'm not trying to get like stains from my makeup in the bed. Like we're not doing that.
right.
As a brown girl, it's not happening.
You do the foreplay, the seducing, and then you go, just pause for one moment. Rip it
Like,
all
y'all
off.
like the girl behind it, but let's find the other person behind the makeup because we're not doing this.
And then we sort of mentioned it earlier, but My Sober Life.
My sober life, this free life, honey.
Oh wait,
This Free Life.
Why did I write My
I
Sober
don't know. You
Life?
kept on saying it was a sober event, but I vaguely remember there being alcohol at one of the ones
Boots,
that
I was
did.
drunk.
Oh,
I was
why
like,
did I think it was a sober party?
I really feel like I was like upstairs sweating my ass out with like a ton of tequila.
Yeah, we got you a bottle. So it's a tobacco free. It was a tobacco free campaign.
Got
so
it.
no smoking, but you can drink. Absolutely, honey.
Because I was like, oh damn, she's sober.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. got it.
In this political climate, being sober.
No,
Could you imagine?
ma'am.
Can you
No, man.
imagine? Okay. Yeah, go Meatball.
What were you gonna ask?
Nothing. I was just I was curious about the sobriety, but that whole line of questioning has gone out the window because I was wrong.
Yeah, I'm definitely not sober.
I love that.
What?
What? Okay, so people can follow you at the Miss Toto.
On Twitter and Instagram. I I mean, I don't use Facebook, and then my YouTube is Miss Toto 305 because the Miss Toto was already taken.
And you wait, and where is your drag name from? What's the origin of it?
So Toto in Dominican Spanish slang means pussy, and then it's also a luxury brand of toilet, which I thought was funny.
Oh,
So
it is.
like the Kardashians all have Toto toilets. So Miss Toilet Pussy. But then also
toilet
for, like, the
pussy
PC crowd. For the PC crowd, they're like, "Oh, it's like the dog from the Wizard of Oz." I'm like, "Yeah, that's it."
But didn't they Carla Coqueta just used to call you like,
Yeah,
I'm in love with Miss Toto?
That's it. That's the instead of like I'm in love with the Coco, it's I'm in love with Miss Toto. And that's what they would always like chant and cheer before I would go on stage. I'm like Tinkerbell. I need chants and cheers before I can like actually get on.
I need tequila.
Well,
we had it for you, honey.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us.
yeah.
Everyone go
for having
follow,
me.
go watch all of her videos. They're so funny.
Oh yeah,
You've
and
been
I
really
was gonna
turning
say,
out the
because
content.
We were talking about like digital spaces. It's been really cool because now we're not in person in a studio doing this podcast. We've been able to get people that we've wanted, but like scheduling hasn't worked out because of LA trips or whatever. So this was very exciting. You've been on the list for a while.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been really fun.
Great.
Well,
I guess
all right.
that's it.
Bye, bitch.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Sloppy Seconds. You can follow us on Instagram at SloppyPod.
Send us an email at sloppysecondspod@gmail.com.
And you can call in with your fuck talk story to 213-536-9180.
Or 1-800-WICKED.
Okay, and follow us, Big Dipper Jelly, Spiciest Meatball, Fat Drag Meatball on Twitter, and our guest.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Our guest, Miss Toto, is at the Miss Toto.
And also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't ever miss an episode. Doodle-doo-doo, forever dog. Sloppy Seconds is a Forever Dog podcast.
Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey.
Mixed and mastered by Will Pitts.
Our cover art was drawn by Christian Cimarroni.
And our theme song was written by Mike Malarkey.